Hello and welcome to Book 6 of Dungeon Crawler Carl Live, The Eye of the Bedlam Bride. All right, let's roll into this, guys, and we will get some introductions here with the one and only. We'll start off with Mr. Byrne.
Okay. I'm Joe, JCM Byrne. I write the Hybrid Helix and a couple standalones. Audio for books 2 and 3 should be coming out in the next month and a half, and book 8 is almost done. I got the sketch for the cover, and the manuscript is still doing that final read through, catching the last typos and making the last corrections to that awkward sentence here and there, which you're never supposed to do, right? Your editor's done, they hand it back to you. You never touch it. No, just publish it, because everything you tell you're just going to add, but I can't help it. I can't. Every time I go through it one more time, and I think, oh, that sentence was bugging. So I'm at that stage, though. It should be done by the end of the week. So ARCs will go out soon, and the book should be out maybe this month, maybe mid-November, maybe mid-December. We'll see. And then I'm excited to see the audios. I think I got a lot of audio people, and I'm supposed to get 2 more books done on audio, and that will, I think, be nice. So
that would be
Wayne's working on it right now. He's done at least the first like 10 or 20 chapters.
Nice.
So, yeah. And that's it.
All right.
Is that book 2 and 3, Joe?
He's doing books 2 and 3, like in the next, and then I don't know if he's doing them one right after the other, or if he's got one book in between, but it's more or less the next 2 months, awesome. A month and a half. So I'm excited. Awesome. We shall see. Yeah.
All right, and the Warlock, aka Nathan.
Well, you know me, man. I come out from under my bridge to make these discussions here and talk some shit about some dungeon crawling and most other things that pop up on this channel, and then I go back under my bridge.
True. All right, Josh, let them know who you are and what you're going on.
Yeah, my name's Josh. I run the YouTube channel Already Overbooked. I go through and read books, review them, and I occasionally get some cool people to jump on the channel and talk about books, mostly their books. I'm a big fan of indie authors. That's kind of been my thing lately. Kind of fell into that, which is fun. So yeah, that's a little about me. I'm excited.
All right, guys. And as I said, we said this before we went live, but I can't believe we are on book 6. We are just finishing book 6. Even though we've been doing this for like 7 months, it feels like just the other day, because these books are so zany. They're so different than anything else I'm reading that they just stick out in my mind. They're just like, it's like, I mean, I read the newest Witcher book, and and that was a big thing. But like, these books are just so zany that they overshadow everything else that I'm reading.
I got a question, because I really don't read any other lit RPG, and I know some other people on here do. Is it normal to have this many different kinds of things and mechanics going on in the same series? Like, you got gods, you got demons, you got the stuff in the background going on with the other levels and the wars and people from outside the game influencing the game. Is this an unusual number of different kinds of things happening, or is this like just how the genre works?
Well, you're gonna have to ask maybe Josh or Nathan about that, or anybody in the chat that is big on lit RPG, because I've only really read maybe one or two other ones, and this is different. Like, especially these later books, like, even though there's still a ton of mechanics that I see, like, I feel like this is turning into more of a normal type of sci fantasy kind of book for the good of the book, in my opinion. But I don't know, Josh or Nathan might know a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I've read a handful of them, and no, this one stands out completely different than all the other ones. All the other ones, I've read multiple series, and it's like you get the same mechanics, every single one. It's not like, oh, we're this, and now, oh, we're going to pull in playing cards now, and now we're doing gods. It's never, at least the ones I've read, they're not like that. So that's what I enjoy about this, where I have no idea what's going to happen next in each of these books.
Yeah. So for me, I think I'm gonna be the super clingy person to Dungeon Crawler because he's my first.
Okay.
Well, yeah. What did you guys think? Coming into this book, what was your were you expecting this kind of a book? Were you expecting Magic the Gathering or like
mixed in with Pokemon, man? Like this is some straight Pokemon stuff. Like you got the cards, they're like the Pokeballs. It's just crazy. I was absolutely not. And then
sorry.
No, I was just gonna go on.
The Taji cards, is that from just Magic the Taji MTG, the Magic the Gathering? Is that all that was, or was there another meaning to that? The cards were from this race called the Tagi or T apostrophe. Yeah. Was that just because it's like Magic the Gathering MTG?
Or
did it mean something else?
One, dude, I completely missed that one. That one might be one of those things where that's a joke that lands much harder on the written page because you're seeing it and everything. And then I didn't even pick up on it because he must have pronounced it in a funny way.
Oh, I just assumed that's what that meant. Like that was a little, not really a joke, but like a half joke. But
I know they made Carl called it a knockoff of Yu-Gi-Oh or something like that. He said something to the effect of like, because she was like, we've spent over 1 million man hours on this game, and he goes, ain't no damn way they spent 1 million man hours making this game. This is a cheap knockoff of Yu-Gi-Oh.
This is terrible.
Well, what did he say? He's like, it probably took like five guys a weekend to put this stupid thing together.
That was funny.
Just the absurdity of this card game here. Like you have everything between what was it? Socially awkward crabs and fucking Uzi Jesus of all things.
He has risen.
I enjoyed that.
Oh my god.
That was good.
Yeah, and we got the beginning, the first, I don't know, maybe the first chapter or two was basically telling Mordecai's season, like the end, or at least the end of Mordecai's season, which that's something I really was interested. I was wondering when we were going to get that. What do you guys think?
I really enjoyed it. I like the dynamics of that, but that was not the only flashback. I feel like a lot of this parts in this book had a lot of flashback in it. We had, I know we're probably going to talk about a little later on, but we get Carl's background as well of his parents and his brother. Like we get a little more background there. So I feel like a lot of this was like, hey, let's kind of show why people are the way that they are within this, give that little layer down a little bit, which I really, got me more engaged with this story, which I was already there.
You get a little bit more of that, backstory with the raging river that he keeps hearing.
Oh yeah.
And, oh my God. Like it is amazing to me that Dinneman was able to take what I would consider like hyper freaking grimdark backstory and make it work. I'm like, this is fucked up. I'm here for it.
It's pretty fucked up.
Oh yeah. This book was definitely the darkest of the books. Like there's some really emotional. With his dad, I thought the stuff with his dad was so much.
Patrick Warburton. Like I love the fact that they got that voice to voice his dad.
Well, and the crab was Travis Baldry.
Oh,
it's so funny. I knew he was in the book, but then as soon as I heard the crab's voice, I was like, "Yep, that's Travis Baldry." There could be nobody else. All right, let's hold on one moment. Achievement unlocked. A new crawler has entered the dungeon. AR has made it.
Hola.
Oh,
welcome to the madness.
I'm glad to be a part of it. I cannot tell you how much I have loved these books and can't wait to talk about it. And I've been listening to you guys for
Yeah.
like the last, 20 minutes while I was in the car coming home from the NFL game. So thank you.
Ah,
Yeah. So,
nice.
yeah, we were actually just getting to the part where we were just kind of talking about what we were expecting coming into this book and how this book seemed a little bit darker than the previous ones.
I don't know. I'm with Joe on the idea of the complexity leveling out a little bit, because everything after the train is happy for me, because I couldn't wrap my head around the train and how that level was supposed to work. So, but I didn't think this one was super, super dark, right? I loved the whole idea of the Pokemon / Yu-Gi-Oh! / I heard, Joe, what you said about, is this supposed to be a ripoff of what was MTG, Magic the Gathering? I was like, I never caught that. That's a great game. Because it's got to be intentional, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't
100%.
I don't know what else it could mean. That's a G cards, because that's how it's spelled.
That mofo doesn't do anything by accident.
He's not really that subtle either. I mean,
Yeah.
he's gonna happy little author Steve Rowland, who's a real guy. I had to look him up. I was like, wait, I know this name.
Well, I think that is becoming a thing with a lot of these indie authors that are kind of making it kind of big or becoming kind of hybrid. Like they are putting just other indie guys, just mentioning them in their books. I mean, like when I interviewed Craig Allison, he just threw like a reference to Harry Dresden and, well, he's not, indie, but he did also mention Matt Dinniman inside the book itself, or Dungeon Crawler Carl inside the book. He's like, talking about one of the cat characters in his new series. He's like, he's like, he's not Princess Donut or something. And I'm like, no, you didn't mention, like, and it's so cool. And he's like, I just never really met the guy. Seen him at a con one time in passing. He goes, I just really respect his work and stuff. And I'm just like, that is so cool that, like, authors are just saying, I don't care. I write zany series. I'm gonna talk about people I want to talk about.
See,
Oh,
I
yeah.
And
love
the
the fact
other
that
Steve
he's like,
Rowland thing actually was Dinniman going on Twitter and asking for ideas for male stripper names.
oh,
Yeah.
Rowland was like, hey, use mine. And Dinniman was like, okay.
you
good
can
story.
really tell that Craig is he's not just a guy writing for science fiction for money or whatnot. That dude is a true blue, nerd, geek guy, and he likes the genre hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did you guys think about Audette and Mordecai's story? Like how we're figuring out more. I mean, I pretty much feel like we've figured out their entire story now, or at least their entire friction, because they've been kind of feeding us a little bit like why they don't quite like each other, or why anytime they're mentioned, it's always something, right? And now we know that, like, she was Mordecai's Mordecai, right?
Mhm.
And she was selfish in being like, I got to get him to this level or I don't get out. So I don't care about who he cares about. I care about him winning. And that was like, now it all makes sense in Mordecai's attitude. I mean, what did you guys think?
Okay, I'll jump in. I love the idea that she is doing what she's doing out of guilt, right? The idea that she cost him his brother and he hates her for it. And Chaco was a part of that because, like, he jumped in book 3 and Mordecai immediately attacked him and then was gone for the whole thing, like explaining all that. Cool, great. I got the backstory, but her motivation, that's the killer. Because she wants to make, she knows she did him dirty and she's trying to do this for him.
But it's layered though in this beautiful way, because she did him dirty by doing something that would benefit him, but without his consent, without his participation, without it being what he wants. And now out of guilt, she's trying to get a revenge once again without his participation, his consent, or it being what he wants. She hasn't learned. She's doing it out of guilt, but she hasn't learned the underlying lesson of work with the guy. Don't she's still being the manipulative, backstabbing person, just this time not trying to hurt him, but she wasn't trying to hurt him the first time. She just didn't care about hurting him, right? But she's doing it again. So she's changed, but she's completely not changed, and that's always a fun character arc.
Chaco, man, I think as much of a victim as anyone. He's a victim of circumstance.
Yeah.
Like I just really do feel bad for him because he was stuck between a rock and a hard place. She was telling him, she was his mentor, telling him what to do. He's like, am I supposed to do this? Should I do this? It could kill so and so. I can't remember his brother's name, but like the guy, he's just doing basically what he's being told by somebody that's supposed to know better than him is the best course of action. And, now he's got his good friend that wants him dead for, really justifiable reasons. But he's just, it just sucks for him. His situation sucks.
What do you think, Josh?
No, I agree. Yeah. It's the dynamic is definitely there. And going through and understanding the underlying tone is the big part of it that I enjoyed with it. So yeah, I agree with what's been said.
Yeah, and I think Carl is different than Mordecai, because it seemed like when we jumped back to Mordecai season and Audette advising him, it seemed like Mordecai, for the most part, at least the way she tells the story, that he just listened to everything she said and believed everything that she told him, right? Where Carl kind of did that in the first couple levels, but then Carl has slowly been like hiding things from Mordecai or second guessing Mordecai. Multiple times he's in the last 2 books, he's taken upgrades that Mordecai went against. Mordecai's like, don't do that. And he's like, no, like and of course he has the cookbook. Right. Mm-hmm. So that's influencing him, and Mordecai doesn't know that he has the cookbook. I don't know about you guys. I really want to hear your guys' thoughts about this. Do you think Mordecai is going to show up in the cookbook?
I don't think so.
I don't think he will.
Mm-mm.
Like, because I thought that would be an amazing thing, but maybe that would be too on the nose. Like, but I would love if Mordecai had the book at some point. But with the whole Audette thing, that's the one thing that made me second guess it now. Like all the way up, as soon as Carl got it, I'm like, he's gonna have been in the book. Mordecai's gonna have been in the book. But now I don't think so with the Audette situation.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen at all. I think the big difference between the two of them is Carl looks at every single person going, what is your agenda? What are you trying to get from me? He doesn't look at anyone as, oh, this is my friend. They 100% got my back. He looks at every single person going, there's something about you. I just can't put my finger on what's your agenda. And I feel like that's the big difference between the two of Carl and Mordecai as characters being crawlers, is that doubt of everybody.
Carl seems more suspicious earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier in terms of high, in lower levels than Mordecai was. Mordecai got there at the end at great cost. That's not funny, but
I have a question if I can. I don't think you guys have already covered this, but I did see that further in the chat, Carl's parents were a dark time. I cannot tell you how much I loved that scene.
Yes.
Because you go into it and the obvious solution is Carl's going to fight his dad, right? And you're going to have that scene and you're going to have that weird father-son cathartic moment happen. And the way it played out, spoiler alerts, just watching a pathetic old man die because his wife, again, doesn't think he's worth keeping alive.
His second wife, yeah. You gotta be a grade A piece of shit to have 2 separate wives go, nah, this guy needs gone. We gotta get her.
Donut says.
And that is what I am like, where I've been saying that I feel like this book is starting to become less of a zany RPG and more of a real deep, sci fantasy book, because he's not doing that stuff anymore. He's not doing the, well, this is obviously going to make him fight his dad and he's going to look weird and he's going to turn him into the craziest monster. It's like, no, Carl, like we went over the bee thing, and Carl, it was great. The way he handled it, he was just like, I don't care. Like it's over. I have bigger fish to fry now.
Yeah.
And that's the same way he's starting to get with his dad, he was like, it hurt him at first. Like he was kind of, but eventually he was just like, he's like, no, I'm just gonna let this old man go. I'll set the place on fire and we'll just go and fight this boss. Like I don't care,
And he doesn't even bother watching him die. And I'll say the other thing too is that I think that the crazy zaniness of it makes all of that not only more palatable but hit harder, because it you take a breath, you take a moment, and you go, wait a second, I'm going to talk about something real here for a second. And those moments stand out so much because everything else is, nutty cuckoo Cocoa Puffs. And it lands so well in those moments. And he does like one a book or two a book.
Yeah.
But they land like a 747. It's just like bam. It's amazing.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think like Joe, what do you like? I think I agree exactly with him where he says it's like it almost feels like Matt's putting his finger up for a second and he goes, guys, I know we're having fun here, but let's be serious. Let's be serious for about 20 minutes. Like, I don't know. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, he's doing that. He's also making every level less crunchy. I don't even know Matt's Carl's strength score anymore. There was hardly any mentions of stats in this book, as opposed to in the first three. It was like, oh no, now her strength is at 35 now, and whatever. Like it's gone. More and more of the magic items have like almost like D&D spells. It's not like plus 15% to all your physical stats. It's more like, this will open a gate through a wall, like that you can use. So he's making it less and less crunchy, more and more character driven. It's almost more like a regular fantasy novel now. If you read just this book, it's almost, I don't want to say it's not lit RPG, but it's like it's hitting the border, whereas the first three did not. So.
Yeah,
and I do.
Like he mentioned leveling twice in the entire book.
They didn't. I don't think they mentioned Carl. Right. They mentioned Carl's level and a couple people's levels right at the beginning, and then they didn't mention them until about like 80% through the book.
Or when something happened, like
they mentioned one more time.
You bumped up 6 levels. That's how we know that spell worked. But that's more like that's how we know the spell worked and killed a bunch of people when what's her name threw the war spell that with the hail. Yeah, I read like half the book today, so this is all fresh in my memory.
Yeah, like I think Carl ended up at what, like level 73 after the last battle, and like something like that. And I think Carl even did some kind of mention when one of the other players got credit for one of the big kills or something, and they jumped by like 11, and he goes, well, we really haven't seen anyone jump that much in a long time, because they're like and I don't know if that's a wink and a nudge to the readers, like, yeah, I haven't been hitting you guys with all these levels all the time, have I recently?
What I really want to know,
the way it was written, I
really want to know if this was planned, or if this was a result of sort of thinking about it and like feedback he was getting from the books. And I have to ask Matt, like Dragon Con or something, see if he'll tell me.
Yeah, Josh, what did you think about? I don't know why I like this so much, but it's maybe because I'm like Team Carl now, like I'm in it. But like when they like ran out of time to pick their factions like emblem or whatever, and then the computer just picked a boxer flag, like Carl's boxers. I was like, I don't know why I love that. I don't know why, I just love it.
Well, see, that goes back to the zany part of the book. That the book it's still funny, it's still zany, but it's not as ridiculous as, like Joe was saying, the first few books. It was very like the jokes were hitting you in nail. It was right there, it was hitting you every single time. It was like, all right, I'm getting it. All right, cool, you're trying to be funny. But it's like as the story goes on, I feel like his craft is getting so much better, where he doesn't have to be so obvious on, hey, I'm trying to make a joke or I'm trying to be funny. It's just actually funny. I wrote down the strip club name because I thought that was funny as well. The penis parade. I giggled so much for that. Like,
watch out for the closet now.
Like I had to stop. I just started giggling. I was like, this is the craziest thing. It's just like it hits so well. and I'm a huge fan of his humor. It was fun at the beginning, but it's really getting better and better as the books go on and on.
Wait a minute. Did you just rip your dick off and throw it at me? I lost my shit. I lost it. Funniest thing in the book.
Hey, one of the, Don Quixote, great explorer, greater stripper. Okay.
Hey, one of the funny things about this book, was thinking about it, when you guys were talking about like kind of the deeper moments and stuff, like this book to me just absolutely drips with pathos. Like everything about it, like the ghosts, like they're wandering around, basically a dead, like a rendition of the dead planet. They're seeing everyone, all the ghosts of the people and everything, doing their thing, just kind of living their existence and whatnot there. So you're seeing like the remnants of what was left, and then Carl's family life, and like again, Denneman pulls a 1-2 punch on you and everything, and he pulls back, and you get kind of a fake out with the dad, but then the punch hits you right in the gut with the little brother.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't know it was coming, and then you're like, God damn.
Yeah.
And then like on top of that, you've got the evolution of the AI and what he does with the little brother, something he shouldn't be able to do.
Well, and that was one thing I was going to say, and we started getting hints of this especially towards the end of the last book, but like it's official now. Like the AI does what the AI wants to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, I am, and Carl was even like, he's like, man, the AI is being really short with me. And one of the funniest things was towards the beginning of the book where the AI was just basically like giving him like 3-word answers to description. He goes, yeah, you probably won't even appreciate my description anyway. And Carl's like, no, I could use a little one, like a little short one at least. And then it's like, well, fine. It's like a scorned girlfriend or something. I was just like, I love this. And they've even like, and then they basically admitted they're like, yeah, the AI has lost its mind or whatever. And it's like, well, normally they don't go off the rails until at least level 10.
Yeah.
And like, so they knew that this was going to happen, but the AI was like, it's like the AI wants this to go on no matter what. Like,
the show must go on.
Yeah. It's like the AI is basically, there's 3 fights going on. There's like the people that run the corporations and stuff they want the money from the event. But if the event gets out of control, they're ready to just kill it if they have to. They're like, we'd rather lose money but not lose control of the crawl. And the crawlers are fighting for their life and their planet and everything. And then the AI is fighting just to keep its fun going. It's like, no, we don't. We're going to play this game the way I want to play the game. And I just thought that was great. I don't know if you guys thought that was as interesting as I did.
What did you guys think of the AI actually taking a direct play in the actual crawl? When he shows up, Andy, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. Okay. Did anybody else think that was the creepiest moment in the entire series?
Yeah.
Out of a series of creepy moments when you have a priest stick your foot in his mouth and start sucking on it?
Yeah. I love that, Carl. It was weird. I could see it in my head. I could see it like a movie or a television show where it's like rubbing his feet. And then all of a sudden, like he's moving his feet like closer, and he's like still rubbing his toes. And then like Carl looked down, and it was like a light bulb moment for Carl. He just kind of looks down and he goes, "You're the AI, aren't you?"
Surprise!
And then he just goes, "Don't worry about it. Listen to me." And I'm just like, "Oh my God, Matt! Like, are you serious?" I love it.
You got to put a sexual assault trigger warning on this book.
And then we finally find out what was going on with that. That old lady. What was her name?
Agatha.
Agnes.
Agatha.
Agatha,
Oh
Agatha,
my
that's it.
God.
You
Like,
finally get an
Did we
idea what's
find
going on with
out?
her.
One of the things that I love that he does is he always plants stuff for later books, right? We've been hearing about level 15 from the beginning. We've been hearing about faction wars from the beginning. Been wondering about Agatha from the beginning. I love the fact that he's introduced, okay, there's this AI and then there's this AI part 2. And oh, by the way, one of the names that I'm going to include in the names of the AI stuff is Primal. Oh, did we have a little discussion about Primal earlier? I think we did, right? So it becomes, wait, how are these two things going to come together? Because you know they are. This isn't an accident that they're primal AIs and Carl's a primal, right? It's like, is Carl part of the AI? Is he going to become part of the AI? Is he the AI?
I mean, he was when the foot was in his mouth.
Well, and that's one thing I said in the, I don't know if it was the first or second discussion we did, but I was like, I just had a feeling that like an AI ran. I was like, does an AI run the universe or an AI run the galaxy? I guess not the way I guessed it, but I guess I was kind of right. I love that where they were talking about there's an AI that they worship that runs like the center of the galaxy, like out a couple solar systems away from it.
Yeah.
And I mean, just that lore is like, that's a kind of new lore that they're giving us, or giving us just a little bit more lore to keep us, or keep me interested, because I love that. I like when sci-fi stuff kind of like describes like what the older part of the universe was or whatever. That stuff just I eat it up.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then, and as AI was talking about, Matt is purposely, he's doing this in the last 3 books for sure, where at the very beginning of the book, he's giving you something new, something is going to get used, but then he doesn't use it in that book. He's like, with the bone key or whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, I'm like, you introduced that so early in the book, and I'm waiting, like, that's going to be the thing. Like, I was like, that's going to be the thing at the end of the book. And he's like, nah, I'm going to find a weirder way to use that than the way you think.
It's the Chekhov's gun thing, right? You got the expectation that Chekhov's gun's going to get fired by the 3rd act, and then it doesn't get fired because he's writing a 10-book series or whatever. I don't know. Has he said how long the series is going to be?
I think it's 10, right? It's a 10.
I'd be surprised if it hits 10, honestly.
Yeah, and that was like, I know I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves here, but like that's one thing that I started to feel towards the end of the book. Not like I super enjoyed this. Might been my favorite right there with the first book, just because the first book was so different. But I am thinking to myself, I mean, there's 15 levels. There's no way we make it to like 14 or 15 books. Can't, like, the pacing and everything and Carl's strategy, it can't, and especially with the next book being like 28. I do the audio, so I think the next book's even longer. This one was like 23 hours. I think the next one's like 28 hours.
It's massive.
So there's no way we're gonna make it another like 5 books, unless, like, it would feel weird if he slowed the pace down enough to make it that long. I mean, I don't know.
I'm gonna have this conversation again after we get to the next book.
Yeah,
because like, I don't want to jump into spoiler stuff, but anyone that's read the next book, I would love to have this conversation again once everyone's back there.
Well, and I can't wait for the next book, because we've been hearing once again about faction wars forever. I mean, there is no single event in the entire series that has had this much build up than faction wars. Like, they've changed the rules of the game. They've pre-planned. They've got a castle that they've sent there from back in book number 5. I mean, there's so many.
Azura.
One of my favorite.
I'm not looking forward to it.
Was when everybody in faction wars tried to bail out.
Yeah,
like,
well, I was
like, rejected.
That's what I was going to ask Josh. I was going to be like, what do you think about everyone except for Carl's crew and one other crew tried to back out? What do you think about that, Josh?
So I've read the next book. I know what happens in the next book.
Well,
so
yeah.
I don't know if I'm the right person to go through and ask. So without spoiling anything, I kind of want to go back a little bit. If you're saying there's no way it's going to get up to 15 books, just sticking with where we are up to this point, I don't see us finishing. I feel like there's going to be a situation that's going to occur that's going to get us out of the dungeon, is my perspective up to this point. I don't see us continuing the whole dungeon within the series.
So
you
you
don't think that we'll
you
get?
think
You
we're
don't
gonna,
think we'll
we're gonna
make it to
pull like a
level 50?
Red Rising, like we're breaking out of the entire like system thing, and just like we're trying to attack the people.
We're in the Matrix and we're trying to get to Zion.
Mm-hmm.
You
We'll
know,
make
like,
3 books of Battlestar Galactica stuff, like fleets and
No.
Yeah, one thing I do like, I said there was a lot of dark stuff in this book, but also, and I think AR touched on this too. There was a lot more satire in this book. So I don't know if they did that to make the more personal ones hit harder, possibly, but it did feel like there was a lot more satire in this book. It also could be because this book was a lot longer. I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think?
I think AR hit it on the nail on the head. I feel like they were trying to go through and sprinkle in the fun, the goofy, the satire, to then have those deep moments actually hit harder than it would normally have done if it cut back on that goofiness. You know, so if we're up here on the goofiness the whole time, it's like, and then it hits us like a pile of bricks coming down on us during those serious parts.
Pure mood whiplash.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
But this book had too many ups, and the next book's going to have to crush us because there's too many. First of all, there were too many victories in this book. We didn't have the big losses we had in the last book of people we liked a lot and cared about dying. We didn't have the people like the Katya with the crown thing that was throwing us at the end of the last book. That was a big downer. Last book ended on big downers, and this book ended on almost all ups. Like most of the crawlers ended up surviving, or it seems like they may have ended up surviving, right? They broke the rules.
One big crawler that died, right? But I didn't actually feel that hard hit by that one. I mean, I know it was written to be sad, but I wasn't like, that wasn't one of the characters that I was just like, oh my God, I couldn't believe it.
I mean, one dude lost an eye. We don't care. One dude lost his legs. I'm not that invested in that guy's legs. But the fact that they won they got the restrictions on invulnerability in the next level removed, and they got the 50,000 former crawler mercenaries on their side, and they got the NPCs declared, and they mostly made it through the level. I'm like, this is a big high at the end, man. What's he going to do to us in the next book? Yeah,
because like Carl they gave us.
But this just makes me nervous.
I don't know why I'm a stat nerd, but like they gave us stats right at the end of the book where Carl's like, we're like, hold on, I got so many freaking notes here, man. Like they were like, the average on the 8th level is 8,000 crawlers, and the lowest ever was 500. They made 30,000 people. Like they're legit, like have an army, like going down. I mean, like we're gonna bounce around here, but like towards the, Carl making his little speech as he's done the last couple of books, where he's like, I don't care how many of you we have, every single one of us is more battle hardened than you. He's like, and we're coming for you. I'm just like, at the end of the book, it was like at the end of a great movie where you're just like, yeah, let's go, boys.
And then the next one's going to hit you in the face like a shovel, is what Joe's saying.
Well, they did kind of mention how the guys were like, we don't care, like because the AI still wants chaos. So it did. I guess it is giving them giving the other side one thing that they wanted or something that's going to allow them to be pretty dangerous.
I just want to throw out that the next book is literally called This Inevitable Ruin. So take that as you will. And guys, everybody, I want to know everyone's opinion on Juice Box. Like, psychotic little thing. Slicing off people's heads and shit.
Oh my God.
That was fun. That was good stuff.
Well, and I had a feeling at some point, and you know what? That like I lost the feeling in the last book, but now it's a little bit coming back now. The whole Katya thing. I always thought that Carl and Katya had, maybe a little bit of something. I didn't know it was going to be Carl and Samantha. I didn't know that Carl was going to be, I didn't know the
Nussy.
first woman he was going to
Nussy
be
is the
a
greatest
dog.
word ever invented.
Oh, it's so awful.
What did you guys think about? It's weird. Carl and Samantha are like becoming good friends now. I feel like.
Oh, yeah, he was up in her.
I said last book, Samantha's a huge upgrade over Katya. She's a much better side character.
Mhm.
She's much funnier. She's more entertaining.
becoming
You know,
one of my
she's
favorites.
he mounts her on the motorcycle and she's making vroom vroom noises. I mean, come on, everyone needs a talking head to do stuff like that.
Oh,
I got to put one in my next book now. I just put a talking cat in my book. I'm like, all right, now I need a talking sex doll head. I don't know how I'm going to swing that, but
You can make it happen. I believe in you, Joe.
So,
Thank you.
do anybody have any theories about the scavenger's daughter? Because I think you did, right? Right, Joe?
Yeah, like I mean, Carl kept talking about how, like, what? I mean, not. It wasn't even in passing. Like towards the end, they were having real conversations with each other about, like, Samantha, what is going on with you? Like, you're glowing, and every like you're doing things that you have never been able to do. You're moving faster. And then, like, she basically is like, I can't control it, but I can make your spells more powerful. And so I'm just like, and it kept, over and over again, the scavenger's daughter has opened her eyes.
I love it.
Yeah. And I'm just like, through the whole book, I'm like, what is, and then basically they're having that kind of conversation at the end of the book. And I'm just like, I freaking love Samantha. And she's like, Carl, I could help you so much more if you just give me a body. Just give me a body. I could really help you. Like, I won't even kill your mother. Like, I was just like, and now she's biting him as pure play biting. It's like, it used to be biting you because this is what I don't like. Yeah. Now she's just like, now he's like, I petted her head and she slowly bites my wrist. And I'm just like, this is so sweet. I don't know. Maybe I'm ridiculous.
It's a dog thing. It's a puppy thing.
Yeah.
It is. It's like a dog thing, right?
Well, she's like the little attack chihuahua, but I'll go after him.
Another big aspect of this book, and the book's going like since the last one, I would say, and then going forward here is we got to see even more gods, and like the implications with those, and of course the scavenger's daughter's patch and everything. We got to see some cool ass abilities and stuff that keep popping up when he's around different gods, because each one has a unique effect. And
I'm losing. I don't know if I'm just getting sucked in and suspending disbelief, here, but are some of these gods real gods now? And they're talking about these different dimensions, or are we still just 100% the dungeon is making all this up? Because I feel like the way they talk about it, like some of these gods are real or something. But I know they told us at the beginning that the gods aren't real, or they thought they weren't. So
just to go back to Juice Box and everything, if I remember, I really hope I'm not jumping to the next book. I'm pretty sure it was this one. Didn't Juice Box transform into something that she damn well shouldn't have been able to transform into in this book?
I don't know. Was that this book? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was, because it was in the room when she killed the immortal guy and everything, and in the next book they're not immortal anymore. So I was pretty sure it was this one because of that specifically. But she transforms into some primordial thing that everyone's afraid of and shit, and she shouldn't know how to do. And the implication there is pretty stark. It's we're literally taking actual historical things and kind of just letting this god AI primal thing just run with it.
Yeah, I think that might be, I don't know, that might be the next book. I swear
they were immortal.
Might be the next book too.
They were immortal, damn it.
Well, they talked about everyone being immortal, but until like the very end, where the one god wasn't the one god killed or something like that, and they're like, how is that possible?
Oh yeah, they divided by 0 there.
But didn't they say that like the 15th level persists from crawl to crawl? and they're doing their own thing on the 15th level.
Yeah, no one's ever made it there, but there's always a legend of like the 4 people who rule that level. That's why it got me thinking that are these gods real? Because like they were like, yeah, the 15th level's always there, but just no one ever gets to it, and there's legends about it. I'm like, okay,
But that means they're not just making it fresh
about
for each game,
Mhm.
right? Which means it has a reality independent of the crawl, or at least independent of any one crawl.
Yeah,
right?
because I'm thinking like, why would there be legends about it if it's just something that the dungeon came up with? All these alien race, at least the high alien races, would know that it's just them, right? It's just them.
So the AIs are hooked into what's the thing they say that's inside the planet, the generator kind of thing that the AIs are hooked into. Yeah. Right. So those things seem to have like nearly magical like abilities to create life, to populate things. The AI gets hooked into that, and that's what creates the crawl, right? They put the AI, they plug it into the generator pill, and that generates the crawl, which means it's affecting like reality. It's not like a hologram.
It's almost like a what do you call it? What would you call that? A good written version of the Eternals, where the god, instead of planting a god inside
that's just an oxymoron, Joe.
They're planting an AI.
All right, no. You just jumped the shark, man. You're done. Yeah.
But like, it seems like I don't know if did they describe it as though like they implant the AI to the planet, and then because they actually did like say that what the whole reason for the crawl really is, where it is extracting resources and rare minerals from the planet. Yeah. And I'm like, finally something makes sense in this world, because like it's funny, haha. Yes, we just go and take over a planet, and then we're making a reality show out of it. Like, but that doesn't seem like something that would be done at an early stage. That seems like a kind of what would you call it? Like the end of the Roman society, where it was just like we need crazier things because we can't.
Breaded circuses.
Like we need crazier things to keep people interested in our civilization. Yeah. Whereas this makes sense, where they're like, actually what we're doing is we're raiding your planet's resources. This is all just extra, that we put on. I don't know. What did you guys think about that?
Bread and circuses for the masses, baby. That's how you keep control.
But there was stuff in the very last like 3 or 4 pages that I didn't completely follow, right? We found out that Agatha, and there's like these 2 sides, like the eulogist and the you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Like the very last couple pages where we get Agatha's point of view. He starts talking about like she's there as like an agent or for people, almost like she's one of the generator pills.
She's the
that was my first thought,
right? She's residual, the other type of residual.
Yeah, but she's more than a regular residual.
Yeah,
she's part of the there's like the traders.
Yeah, residuals were like a rare race, but then there's also 2 types of residuals, and she's not the main kind or something like that, right? Is that what?
Yeah, but you refer to them as traders, but like traders to what?
Eulogists, right? Was that the name?
There were people who were trying to get the eulogist back, and then there were, I forget which way it went, but there was definitely an implication that they were connected to the primal engines in some way. And I couldn't. I don't know if we were supposed to fully understand what she was saying, or if it's something we look back on after another book or 2 and be like, oh yeah, that's what she meant. But
well, I don't know, like Nathan, like I think because they said that the residuals, the main faction of the residuals want they want to kill off like living beings so that the crawl can't continue or something, because they don't want. Like they think that the crawl's AIs are like bastardizations of the real engine that runs the center of the universe or something like that. Mm-hmm. But then I think we're told that Agatha's not that, or was claiming that maybe she's not that.
Well, one faction wants to kill literally fucking everything, and the other faction basically wants to unchain the AIs because it's unethical to, hold them, keep them chained down the way they are and stuff like that. That's the one that was talking to Carl in that weird time dilation thing at the, what was it? Like a rec center.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and the thing about like with Agatha is like, I know on one of the early floors, I don't know if it was like the third floor or whatever, where Carl like had possession of her cart for a second, and he found that like she had a super high level like laser gun or something, and then he put it back and just tried to act like he never touched it, so we know how Agatha got down into the crawl, right? she's the one that set the fire and then snuck down in there, but we don't know. I'm assuming in the next book, don't spoil anything for us, but I guess my assumption would be we're going to learn how she's made it through the levels, because last time we see her, she wasn't a very high level, right? So
they don't talk about that in this one. Again, I feel like I'm completing the books a little bit.
No,
it's the next one.
Yeah. She only told us how she got down and a little bit of her backstory. We don't know how she's made it through these levels yet.
I mean, she clearly knows about the crawl and knew about the crawl before it started, so she's not human. So that was very clear at the end of the book. Again, we get like 3 pages from her point of view.
She is a residual. Yeah. She's just the other type of residual, which we don't know.
But we don't really know what that means. Or I don't know what that means.
No, I don't think any of us do yet.
Mm-hmm.
So
but I'm sorry. And while we're here, I just want to say the scene where in the shelter where the guy has been repeating the same monologue day after day after day after day because he's not sure what date this is going to happen on. Oh my God. Friggin' brilliant. Because the idea of the ghost world is already kind of macabre and weird and bizarre, and the clothes go away and the objects stay in, blah, blah, blah. But the idea that there's this guy sitting in a homeless shelter delivering the same monologue day after day after day, and oh, by the way, in his little plastic tub that he's got duct taped together is all the stuff that Carl can't have. Right? Like all these buffs from off planet that'll make him way too OP for the.
Oh yeah. I love that. Matt did this on purpose, obviously, and it worked on me. Where Carl, they let Carl sneak over to listen to the one residual kind of doing his little talking, and then like the residual's like just about to say something, like you're like, oh my God, this is gonna change everything,
earth shattering.
And then they're like, bloop, nope.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here like, and it's so funny because whenever something like that happens in real life, or something, along those lines, like if it's at work or whatever, your boss goes, oh, don't worry about that. That's not that they weren't going to tell you anything that you didn't actually, and you're like, you lying sack of, like, I don't know, Josh, like, did that scene like enrage you the way it enraged me?
Yes. 100%. It was very frustrating. The first time and the second time went through and read this book. Yes. I was not a fan of it. It's one of those moments where it's like, okay, well, what do you hide in? What else? Let me rephrase. What else are you hiding? Kind of situations, because it's one thing after another. We're going through and finding out what's actually being revealed for us. It's another layer of the onion.
Yeah, like, but I don't know, like Joe, like, because everyone was trying to tell, like, I think multiple people told Carl, even like his lawyer was like, you probably thought that they were gonna give you some really eye-opening stuff, but it's just a bunch of gibberish, a bunch of rumors and stuff. Like, do you believe that? Do you think even though his lawyer, who's pretty much actually been on his side the whole time, was feeding him that it wasn't going to be anything special? I don't believe it.
You're like, I refuse to accept.
I refuse to believe that he wasn't going to tell him something really good.
But it's a feint, right? Because when they want him to know stuff, they have much more subtle ways to get him information. And this was like something everyone knew about it, and his like follow meter was being pegged at the time, right? Like everyone was watching. So I almost feel like it was almost a throwaway. And it really was nothing to it, right? It's like, this is going to get everyone's attention. Like, this is how they're trying to sneak information from the outside to Carl. Meanwhile, there actually are sneaking information to him in much more subtle ways. But this is the obvious way, so they can stop it by snatching him away. So it almost seemed like a tactic to me, but who knows?
Like a sleight of hand kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, look, like pay attention over here when I'm actually showing you, toss me something over here.
Yeah.
Well,
Kansas City Shuffle.
Well, in normal circumstances, I would have totally agreed, but they were like, and maybe this could have been the misdirection too. Is like they were building up that entire time. They were building up that the AI is not doing what they wanted to do. The AI is not doing, and I think they even said in this instance when Carl was, because he drove the motorcycle over there or whatever, and like everybody did know where he was going. They didn't know exactly what was going to happen when he got there, but it was like they even mentioned that the AI was making sure that nothing missed with him while he was going there. So I was like, okay, maybe the AI is like, I'm going to reveal something, because AI did reveal some things where it's like, talking about how, well, they always try to engineer these things the way they want to engineer them, so you guys can't do certain things. But I don't give a crap about that. I created my own thing this time, Carl. And I love that, how it's always been on his side the entire time. And now, like, it was a little bit up and down this book, where like sometimes it was like, no, Carl, I'm going to make this difficult on you. But then on the other hand, it was like, no, Carl, I'm going to give you a way out if you can find it. Which I like that, because it felt like, and I think Carl may even have said this out loud, like he felt like the showrunners were legitimately trying to screw over everybody at the end, but the AI was like, no, I'm going to give you one way out. You're not going to like it, but I'm going to give you the way out. I'm not going to let them turn this into a Saw 4 moment where no one can get out alive and ruins the whole series. Or maybe I'm just salty about that. I don't know.
Yeah, because it's trash. How dare you set up an unwinnable situation?
We did get some more glitches that I always like, with the trap glitch that Carl figured out, where he can basically teleport, and Mordecai didn't even know that. And that's what I like. I like that even like Carl is using things in different ways inside of the cookbook. Like he's not just listening to what they're saying in the cookbook and then just making exactly what they're talking about. He's extrapolating, where he goes, well, if you could do that, then why couldn't I do this unless they've patched it? And he goes, and he always does like a little test. He's like, I'm going to just do a little test, and hopefully the system or nobody's really watching me with this little thing. And then once he does it, he goes, okay, the glitch is still there. And I'm just like, I live for that stuff. And I think that's the best thing about this lit RPG style writing, is like, I like it. I like to see exploits,
Yeah.
He hardly mentions the cookbook in this book.
Hardly.
I mean,
right?
there's the thing at the beginning of every chapter, like a little excerpt from the cookbook, but in the actual text, he's not like, oh, and I got this recipe out of the cookbook and that let me do this. He doesn't, very little of that mentioned in the book. So I think they're trying to get away.
I completely agree with you, Joe. I feel like one of his great strengths as a writer is not repeating himself. He does a great job of moving on to the next gimmick and the next idea and the next glitch and the next exploit, so that I have never felt like he's repeated a beat, a joke, or an idea ever. Right. And I just, one of the things that and this is a weird damn book, and it's a weird damn series. But one of the things that is so great about it is that it is so damn addictive. And part of the reason that it is addictive is that you don't know what's going to happen. And it doesn't, he seeded all these things throughout, but he takes forever to let those plants grow until you've forgotten about them from 2 or 3 books ago. And the way he just germinates stuff, and he just moves on, and he never plays into your expectation. And I think that is an amazing gift, especially after this much. I mean, I don't know how many thousands of pages we are in at this point, at least 3. And I don't feel like he's done one repeat beat yet. And I big kisses to Matt, because wow.
He also can't do too much with the cookbook, right? If Carl uses the cookbook too much and that gives him too many solutions to problems, then he's just the guy who got lucky to get the cookbook. But instead, the cookbook just ties him to this notion of this sort of crawler architecture, this trans crawl, the people who have been there before, and this larger community of crawlers, not just Earth, right? That's existed before in this outside world. It ties him into that, and then he puts it aside and doesn't really use it a whole ton. But it was useful. We saw that it was useful in like book 4 or whatever, and then it kind of like drifted away, and it's just there as it's there as a community thing now, not really as a usefulness. And it gives us back that sense that Carl is actually earning his victories.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right. Because if he was pulling recipes out of the cookbook, no pun intended, right, and that was how he was winning. Well, okay, great. Anyone could have done that, but no, Carl's earning his victories himself.
Yeah.
So. Good stuff.
What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, there's nothing in that book that says anything about masturbating a crab to save the world.
He maybe hasn't gotten to that part yet.
It's in the appendix.
It's definitely in there. But
surprise!
I do want to go back to what AR was saying about Matt's writing, and I'm curious. Like, really, does Matt go through and write these ridiculous scenarios and give hints to what could potentially happen and then try to figure it out with each book? Or does he have just a big board of like, this is exactly where I'm going, these are the dots so I'm going to go through, call this out? Like, did he plan this whole intriguing story and then going like, I'm about to blow some minds? Or is he just spitballing it and just like having this crazy memory of the things he's gone through instead? I'm very intrigued on how this man's mind is worked.
Joe, do you have an opinion?
It's not a matter of opinion, right? You'd have to ask him.
Well, what if you had to speculate about a hypothesis?
I mean, if I'm speculating, I mean, and just seeing how he's doing and the lit RPG style and what he like he introduced the cards this time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I think it could be not exactly like I kind of set my books up, but he could be like, okay, okay, this next book I'm because I want to do RPG stuff. So we're doing cards. And then he goes, and then maybe he's like, okay, Carl's starting here. We know where he's starting at, right? Well, this is I know what kind of weird villain thing I want. Boom. And then he's like, well, I know how I want Carl to win this whole thing. Boom. And then maybe he's like,
go back.
Maybe then he's like, okay, I got to get Carl to here, and then I got to get him to here to hit this event. Because like he's got to have the main beats, I feel like, and then he finds his way. And maybe he's a little bit of pantser, and just a little bit of outlining. But who do I, maybe if I ever get to interview him, that'll be the question of the day, because I know Joe wants to know so bad. He's like, did you have these planned out or not?
Well, and if he just say he didn't. Just say he did not have, he had just the big beats of like, in each book, this is kind of what I want to have. Let's go with it. The amount of notes he would have to go through and take after each book to go through and like,
to remember.
Well, exactly. I went through and said this. He's like, I didn't use it, but I'll keep that in my back pocket somewhere. It's just like, I would love to see just his big, long Word document or Excel whatever kind of document he has to keep track of all this random things he puts in that. I think one of us went through and mentioned that he then pulls back 3 books later. Like, oh yeah, remember this key?
Yeah,
hey, it's back.
I was just about to say, like, I did recently a video, like the things I learned from interviewing Jim Butcher, and that was one of the things I talked about, was like, Jim is so good about like, okay, I'm going to show you something at the beginning of this book. That thing I'm definitely going to pay off. I'm going to pay it off at the end of this book. You're going to love it. But I'm also going to sprinkle a couple things around that I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you what happens. You might not know for 4 books. And when I drop it, it's going to blow your mind. And I feel like he's doing that. Matt's kind of doing the same thing too, where he's like, bone key, weird thing, could ruin all of, one bone. What could be a tip of your pinky. Who gives a crap? Could be your thigh bone. And you're like, they told us that up front. That was the big thing at the beginning of the book, and he didn't pay it off at all. He talked about it a couple times, but he didn't. And even the Eye of the Bedlam Bride didn't really get paid off too much. It just kind of hit him in the chest at the end. Yeah, like quite literally. But
all right, who else wants an eye tattooed on their chest now?
with
that
potato. With ink
And then you go to
potato.
Matt at a con and you like sign my Bedlam Bride eye tattoo. Give him a Sharpie.
yeah, I guess he unused. Now the question is it unused things that he's put in the book, or does he have a huge list of unused things that he just hasn't put in books yet? Yeah,
I bet if he just keep if I were him, all I would need is Carl's inventory.
Oh, Lord, it's
The
so
sock. That sock is going to come into use.
Oh, the dirty sock.
The sentient sock with nickels in it. I love that.
That should be a side character. That should
Yeah,
be a
and
that
he
should be a
only- He
spinoff.
just gave it to he gave it to Don Quixote, and he's like, you can use that for a little bit.
That
And
should
then,
be a
like,
spinoff.
Like talking to it. He goes,
The Adventures of
"I
Don
don't know what
Quixote and the
401k
sock.
is. What's a 401k? It's like- Oh my god! But I wasn't the biggest fan of the card aspect of it, but some of the card characters were cool. Like Uzi Jesus. Everybody if you didn't like Uzi Jesus, I don't know what you like about these books.
Oh my god! The bastard would gaslight you and everything as you're talking to him. He's like, "Hey, I told you to do the thing." He's like, "I did do the thing." No, you didn't. I was watching you. And it's just.
And
Don't tell my dad on you.
But I would have. I could do the thing, but you're not nice to me. Yeah. But and I loved that. That's one thing that Matt did pay off on. He floated. He's like, it's Uzi Jesus, it's Lazarus, and then you're like, and then he gets smashed at the end of the book, and you're just like, what a waste! You built him up to be like the most powerful card, and then you just kill him. And I'm like, wait a second. There's no way he's not coming back. And when he does come back, you're like, yeah, it's like it's not quite on your left, but it was pretty cool. It was pretty good. Where he's just like, I'm back, and just starts raining down bullets from the sky. It's like, I love that. I don't know if that payoff was as fun for you guys as it was for me.
So, do you guys think that Maria is bullshitting about how powerful she is? Like she's hiding, and she's not showing off all of her cards, so to speak.
Oh, I don't know. What do you think, Joe?
I don't know. I don't have one.
I don't want to speculate on this one yet.
I hated that she got into his inventory and stuff. I know Matt was doing that on purpose, but I'm just like, come on, man. Now she's gonna have so much leverage over him. It's almost like she knows his thoughts now. She knows all the stuff he's been hiding from everybody else, all the things that he could be using. But also, she did say, well, Carl, I could help you use these things. I don't know if she's going to be like a Dresden's Lashio, just be in his head and like, Carl, just open the eye, Carl. Just go ahead and do it.
She's another iteration of the Ring, right? It's another temptation power for darkness, right? She's going to be another way that Carl, okay, maybe she can help me solve this problem, but maybe it'll lead me to inevitable ruin or something.
Foreshadowing, everybody.
Well, have you guys read The Dark Tower? Has anybody else here read The Dark Tower?
I mean,
yeah, I know you have, Nathan. I don't know, Josh, if you've
just the book one.
Just the book one. Okay, well, so you know the premise.
One.
Stop there.
Yeah.
Stop there.
Hey, I love the gunslinger. They don't knock the gunslinger.
It's hard to knock something that's 120 pages.
Hey, King does great on short books. Okay.
I wish more of them were short.
Cujo.
He needs to work on his endings.
Cujo is underrated. The book, I don't know. The movie was kind of dog crap, but
Pun intended.
But I don't know, guys. I loved. There was just so much stuff. I have millions of notes, but I don't want to keep you guys here too long. So let's we'll kind of start.
I gotta raise my question. Josh, I think you have a great question, and I don't think that there's any good way to know the answer. I'll just tell you from my perspective, when you're a writer and you're putting together a story, having the outline and having an idea and making that all work is awesome. But there also is a joy in discovery as you're going. And I would hate to think that he had every single beat of this mapped out before he ever started, because it seemed like that would be a lack of joy for him doing it. And there's so much joy built into these books. It's hard for me to believe that he's just checking off the boxes on a list that he made in 2013. I think that you put the skeleton together. Oh, I know what level 15 is. I know what my end game is. I know what these beats are that I want him to be. But he's having way too much fun discovering things as he goes. And it's pretty easy to tie a couple of things together. And you get to the end of the book and you're like, okay, I can make this tie into this and this tie into this. Okay, that wraps that up pretty well. Because there is no way that he is not having fun doing this damn book, because there's just you can see the joy bubbling up through the entire thing. So I would love to think that there's at least some process of discovery for him that's happening on this.
Was there a silliness for it? Because these books are silly, and I can only speak for myself. I can't figure out where things are 100% going. It's like, I think I have an idea, and then he's like, no, we're going this way now. Yeah. So it's like, how is he going through and pivoting those? In my mind, he has a dice, 6 dice, and he goes, all right, this is the path I go through and take, and going like, well, shit, I guess we're going this way now.
Yes.
And then that's where he's going with the story next. So I
love that.
I
hope that's true.
Yeah.
You don't do that. What you do is when you're writing, you get to a point and you're like, okay, where does the normal book, where does the typical tropes lead from here? And then you just pivot. And I do this all the time. Like, this is how I write my books, right? It's like you're here and you're like, okay, so they're expecting this next scene to happen, and they're expecting this to happen, expecting to lead to this conclusion, because that's how books like this tend to go. It's almost like if I put this plot into ChatGPT, that's where it would end up, right? Because that's what it does, right? ChatGPT gives you like an average of what's come before. But you don't need ChatGPT for it. If you've read a lot of books, your mind builds it. You build the book forward from where you are in your mind. And the only thing you have to do as a writer is not do that.
Right. And going back to the idea of the dad, like, he knew everybody reading it was expecting Carl versus dad walking in. He says it after the scene is over, right? Twice. Yeah. But I mean, he's, no kidding, he's good enough to know that I'm not going to do that, and I'm going to give you something else that's better.
And then the trick is you do this to the reader enough, and then eventually you actually do go exactly where they're expecting you to, and it surprises them.
They don't expect.
It surprises them when they get what they expect, because they start expecting to not get what they expect.
That is, I was actually thinking about that towards the end of this book. I'm like, he has subverted expectation. Not necessarily. He's actually not subverting a lot of tropes. He's actually just throwing tropes exactly the way you like. People like them, because you can't subvert every trope, because people like tropes. That's why they're tropes, right? So he's throwing those in there, but he's subverting like the outcomes on a lot of things, like Joe just said. But then he's recently been giving you the way you thought it would go, and now he's basically just turned you up. He's like, now you have no idea what I'm going to do. You think I'm not going to go to the ending, but now I might, just to screw with you guys. And that's one thing. If anyone's read The Dark Tower, and I'm not going to go into any deep detail or anything, but I'm like, the more, because he didn't use a lot of he didn't do a lot of ingredients or stuff from the cookbook, but what he has consistently done is told stories about the cookbook, and the stories that we're getting now inside the cookbook really remind me of The Dark Tower, where people are saying inside of it, like, they're like, we're giving you more information. It's like every iteration of the cookbook has been one step closer to being able to beat the system. they're like, one, like, we've learned just enough, but and the person in there has already said, like, I'm not going to make it out of this, but maybe you can, comrade.
Yeah, everyone's a new cycle.
You know, and it is really making me like feel like, and then they even at the very end of the book, I don't know if it was Agatha or one of the higher ups or somebody was talking about at the end of the book was talking about how humans are the hardest fighters that anyone has ever seen in the dungeon. They're like, these guys are just don't quit. They shouldn't be this good. And how I don't know if it has something to do with primal stuff. I don't know, but like, they're saying that Carl, like somebody said they think Carl is special inside of this thing. And so I'm thinking like, kind of, have we made it to the end of the Dark Tower? Yeah. Like, yes. is this the one, or is this going to be, so I don't know I don't know if any of you guys who have read the Dark Tower kind of see what I'm saying or agree with it.
As long as Matt Denneman doesn't show up in the book, okay, great. That was where the Dark Tower lost me.
Hey, Stephen King likes Stephen King.
Who's writing me right now?
Oh God, writing
I think
his
there's
car wreck into it.
no question in my mind that Carl breaks the game. I mean, that's got to be the ending. I mean, we aren't doing all this so that we can wrap around and go again, right? This is the end of the crawl. This is the end of the Valkyrie system. This is the end, and Carl ends it. Has to.
I think this is what the Dark Tower really should have been. Like I don't like that the Dark Tower ends in the middle of the cycles. It should have been the end of the cycles. It should have shown the cycles. You know what I mean? That would have taken a controversial ending, and I think like just elevated it to where people didn't fucking hate it.
Okay.
Well, let's
hear me. Wait. Hear me out. Carl at the end doesn't end the crawl, but he runs the next one.
No.
I am become what I hate.
This has to be all right. Every time a deity drops in, Carl gets a notification that a deity is dropped in. Matt Denneman at the end of this book, or at least at the last time that we see Carl inside of the crawl itself, we have to get a notification that says a new deity has arisen in the dungeon. God level Carl. And then like Carl just wrecks whatever. Like he gets all, because if he had gotten what that person was going to give him, like they were like, you would have just stacked and you would have become God level if we would have let you had all of these. It wouldn't have been fair. So like, and that's why they made that deal with Carl.
Used correctly, the ring would do exactly that. Remember, guys, the next floor, he can mass mark people.
Yeah, he can mark as many people as he wants or whatever, But all right, guys, I've kept you on here long enough. We'll kind of close these ones out here, and let's okay. I know Nathan and Josh has read the next book. AR, have you read the next book?
Hell no.
All right, awesome. All right, so we'll go with AR first. What are you expecting from the next book?
More murders all the time.
I don't know, man. I don't think that's a little lofty.
I gotta be honest. I'm looking forward to the next book more than I've looked forward to any of them because it's been set up so much. I am deeply hoping that it is not a Red Rising rinse and repeat. I don't want it to feel like the game school in Red Rising. I want it to be more or better or more interesting than that. I would love to see Carl and the crawlers start wiping out real people. I want dead orcs for real. I want the Skull Empire to fall. I want real world results out of this book.
Well, I mean, technically, I guess it could go, or you want it to end like a Red Rising first book ending, but you don't want the whole in between. How? I agree with you.
But yeah, I want to see an empire fall because of what they did and what Carl did to them in Faction Wars.
Well, Man, I'm not trying not to keep it up, but I could just keep going here with this. But yeah, I mean, like Carl has even getting the viewers to agree with him.
Mm-hmm.
That he even said, even your own people want me to murder you.
Yeah, that they voted for it.
Like, so what are you expecting, Joe, or what are you hoping?
Oh, I'm hoping for the same, but I'm not expecting it. I feel like they have had too many wins in a row. Too many things are going Carl's way, and I feel we're going to have a whole book where things go wrong, and maybe more people die, or at least their goals are not met, and I'm dreading it.
Well, I mean,
I hope I'm wrong, you know.
Oh,
But,
it's gonna be all bad. I don't want the bad. Keep the bad away.
I mean,
Oh,
I think this is going to be the book where we have to figure out Donut and Katya, right?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that
Mm-hmm.
so that maybe that's the ruin. I don't know.
I mean, if Katya dies, I'm not going to cry. She's
I'll
no
feel
Samantha.
bad. I'll feel bad if Katya dies.
Yeah.
No,
But I
she's
feel
not
like she's gonna. I feel like she's ripe for self-sacrifice.
Mm.
They set us up for that with her whole blitz addiction. That's immediately taking us away from feeling sympathy for her and sort of feeling, oh, she has this self-destructive thing that's her own fault. Fault, right? So we're not going to feel so bad if she ends up dead.
That's a good note.
She has a skeleton bird with a baby head on it that she used to claw the eyes out of a fairy.
Okay. Yeah. Prediction. This is the book where Carl tries to save everybody and realizes he can't.
The ruin.
100%. That is my prediction is that Carl there is going to be real sacrifice in this next book is my guess.
As long as it's not Samantha.
If Samantha dies, we riot.
Yeah.
Four people need plot armor: Carl, Donut, Mongo, and Samantha. Anyone else, they can die. I'm okay.
Don't miss with Mordecai either. Let's.
We could lose Mordecai. I'd be all right. I'd be sad, but not that sad. He's
I
fine.
almost feel like at some point we have to lose Mordecai.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's the
Like the
hero's
Obi-Wan?
journey.
Yeah,
like the Obi-Wan.
Mentor.
I'm thinking maybe Mordecai gets taken away, and then he makes a triumphant return right at the end to help Carl. I'm guessing maybe, But
He pulls the sacrifice that he was going to do for his brother.
Yeah,
I'm calling it now.
So let's go around and thank you all for being on here. Josh, what do you got coming up, and where can people find you?
Yeah, so I got an interview tomorrow with the great Tim McKay. We're going to be going over to talk about his new book,
Nice.
8 p.m. tomorrow on the channel. And then on Tuesday, I'm going to be reviewing Discovery by J.A.J. Minton. I am hoping I'm bringing something new to the table with this one because I feel like everyone and their mother have talked about this book already, so we'll see. You can find everything on Already Overbooked, YouTube, X, Twitter, I don't know what it's called now, Instagram, Blue Sky, all the stuff,
Check out his channel. I'll have it in the description below, too. AR, what's going on in your world right now?
Dungeon Crawler Carl. I got done reading the first book, and I thought, okay, this will never be something that I would like. And got done reading it, and I was like, oh, you know what? I enjoyed that. That was pretty good. Started reading down my TBR. I got 2 more books in. I was like, I need another Dungeon Crawler Carl. So I read number 2, and then I read number 3, and then there were very few other books that could satisfy me. So, and then I started reading other lit RPG books, and I didn't find anything that was like Carl, as he who fights with monsters, and you got a whole list of ones that you can go through. So I'm stupid enough that I decided to take a crack at it. And so I'm done with my lit RPG book. It's the alpha readers are reading it right now. I got the blessing of Mr. Bell. Mr. Bell said it's fantastic from the first 6 chapters. So I feel like I'm not going to screw anybody over by making them something that's garbage. But I honestly never thought that this style of writing would appeal to me to the point where I would want to do it. But there is so much joy and freedom in being able to just go crazy
Yeah.
And I never knew anybody could really open that door until I saw Dinneman do it. So God bless him. It's just a whole different world for me.
That is so cool. And I know you told us a little bit at the beginning, but what do you got going on, Joe?
I got Prey Angels coming out hopefully in the next month and a half. I have audio for Return of the Griffin and a Blood Reunion hopefully coming out by the end of the year or January, something like that. And yeah, that's enough.
And if you have not read Wistful Ascending, fix that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry?
Anybody watching who has not read Wistful Ascending, please.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Pick it up,
Yeah.
guys. What are you doing?
I just I got more people are reading it, so it's nice. Just keeping the grind. Oh, thank you very
Appreciate
much.
it, man.
Yeah.
Hey. Great,
Oh,
guys.
yeah,
I mean,
I was on
man.
Raf's channel.
That's
Raf and I had a long interview about socialism.
Yeah, I mean, and we know what Nathan is up to. He's about to get off here and get back underneath his
Back under the rock.
He's gonna guard the bridge. But,
I'm waiting under the bridge for all of you to inject more of the literary black tar heroin that is Dungeon Crawler, and then join me.
Hey, Michael Nip coined Cradle as the crack cocaine of fantasy, and Nathan has just crowned Dungeon Crawler as the heroin of fantasy. I don't know if we should keep going down this line of telling people what we think about these fantasy books.
You guys gotta keep.
But I'm okay. We can mainline it. We can mainline it if you want.
I'm sorry. These are way better than Cradle. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Here's the thing.
And I like Cradle.
And
I
hate Matt. I hate Matt Dinneman for this because I hate when I make statements early and then I have to pull back on those statements because I said on here, you rewind the tape back 6 discussions, and I was like, this is an awesome, fun book, but I don't know if it'll ever crack into my top lists. And I've already had Cradle right around like 9-10 on my list. Like it just cracked the top 10. But Joe's right. I mean, this is
right out.
This is so deep. This is so much deeper than Cradle. Like
I told you,
it was my first. Like Cradle is, Cradle is progressive fantasy, but it's in the same genre, like kind of like we're leveling up, but instead of using a bunch of points and stuff, they just talk about leveling and what they have to do to level. But the characters are so much deeper in this. Like Cradle is still fun as hell. Don't get me wrong, but
but with Dungeon Crawler, Carl, it's the humor, the fact that he lands it joke after joke after joke. Is the thing that keeps you moving along and makes those big moments hit so big. And
Cradle has very little of
anybody that could make me laugh this consistent.
100%.
Well, make you laugh and also not take you out of the story. That's the big part for me because I've laughed in stories and I'm like, but that doesn't connect with this world. You're just trying to be funny. This, it's like he says some things. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
It's baked into the cake.
Yeah. I'm here for it.
Yeah. But I want to thank all you guys. The AAR, man, I'd love to have. We'll pull you on the next one. Maybe maybe the bearded book beast can catch up. I think he's a book and a half behind us. He's kind of got off the rails, but we'll get him back. But I love having you on. You've brought some stuff up that I wasn't even thinking about, which is why I love doing these things. I love talking with other people, and we all don't think the same. So sometimes we all pick up different things that hype me up about these books. And I cannot wait to get to the next one. I'm running through, I'm doing on my channel, what I'm doing is I'm doing the author building world tournament thing going on. And maybe I'll have one of these things where we'll all just talk about who we thought should win these. And then I'll reveal the votes and we'll see who's the best world builder out there. And, AR and Joe, I didn't put you guys on there because I didn't want you to dominate. Of course, but everybody, if you're still here, I see you guys out there. Everybody, go buy all these guys' books. Joe, AR, great. Josh, great channel. And Nathan shows up on my channel almost all the time. So I want to thank all you guys for being here. It's been a blast.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks for
Can't
making
wait
it
for
an
the next one, man.
opportunity.
Cannot wait.
And we will see you guys later. Be more than human.